Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome to the first ever podcast. This is a brand new concept that we are testing out. If you guys like it, let us know down in the comment section below. We figured this would be a great way to start your Monday mornings on your way to work. You guys can tune in, listen to us, and drive. This episode, I am pleased and actually honored to be surrounded by two people here that I've known in the community for a while. They're both very, very impressive individuals. I have Preston Pedulla, SoCal 204, and the very well-known Flex Alexander. So let's take a moment and talk about our stories, how we got into this whole scene, and just introduce ourselves a bit to the community that may not know us. I'm going to go ahead and start with you, Preston.
All right, so by now you guys know me, Pedulla, aka SoCal 204. I've been around the car scene for maybe about 5 years. I'm only 21, so I've been around it for a while now. Ever since I got into them, I always loved cars personally. I've always been a lover of cars.
Sorry, Ray and I are super shocked right now.
Yeah, I feel old as shit.
I know. I feel so bad. I shouldn't have said that, dude.
So you're a 21-year-old driving the most expensive W204 on the planet.
You look at Flex.
Okay, let's go.
I got in the car scene like probably about 5 years ago. I've always been interested in the cars, JDM, all that good stuff. Not really American Muscle. Sorry, Ray. Never was a huge fan of them. But my first car I started out with was a 1997 Mercedes-Benz E320 W210. Had one of those. I slammed it to the ground. I really did a ghetto build on it because that was when I was a manager at Target trying to get by on my build. So we did that. We finished that build. The day before I was going to sell it, I actually crashed it. Thankfully, the guy still bought it. And I was like, okay, this is perfect.
Dude, did you have like a kilo of cocaine in there for the guy to buy the car?
Dude, it was pretty bad. It was sketchy. It was you know what it was is that my e-brake cable got locked around my dick going 40 on a 2-lane street.
Oh,
and
so you swung out?
I did like 2 donuts, and I just landed in between these brick walls, just like boom, and I'm like, wow, dude, that's crazy.
Wow.
I was like, dude,
Wow.
I was lucky I survived. I'm like, thank you. Yeah, that was great.
Jesus Christ, dude, you're so lucky.
No, yeah, so I sold that. I switched to, I needed a car ASAP, so I actually leased a 2015 Camry SE. Now, if you guys don't know,
Camry.
A Camry SE, okay, that's a sport edition. Okay, it had touchscreen capabilities and backup camera, so you guys cannot bash me for that. Okay, that was probably when I was 19. Then 20, we bought a 1989 Mercedes-Benz 190E 2.6.
Holy shit.
Nice.
So it was an oldie. It was a little rough on the edges on the paint, but we actually it was pretty solid. The engine was good and everything like that. That same day, I picked it up about 30 miles from my house, drove all the way to LA, which is about 40 plus miles, dropped it off at the shop, and put a manual trans in it from a Cosworth. So we had a 5-speed manual 190, and that was so much fun. There was nothing driving an old Benz than what's it called? Than shifting gears. It was awesome. It was an amazing feeling.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then I sold it to one of my buddies, and that was at least he still has it now currently, but it's for sale right now, sadly. But you know, stuff happens. And then
how much is he asking for it?
Ooh, probably about like 5.
Wow.
But it's a really rare transmission. Like, you can't find those anywhere, man. Like, good luck trying to find one. It's rare. Let's see. And now, currently, my car that you probably all know me by, most of you guys at least, unless you...
You mean the entire world knows that car?
No, everyone knows Flex right up there, you know, but I mean, not... I have a 2012 Mercedes-Benz C250 AMG.
AMG.
With the AMG,
AMG package.
AMG package.
Yes,
Oh
of
my
course. No, it has the same body and everything like that pretty much. We just have a lot of carbon fiber on it. You know, you got a hood, trunk, spoiler, roof deck spoiler, diffuser, side extensions, side skirts.
Ladies love side extensions.
Oh, they love side extensions. If you have to go check out that video on Flex's channel. And then we wrapped it in Nardo. It's an awesome experience. Even at 21, it's not an AMG, I know, but I mean, the looks you get out of that car when you're driving it is even better than an AMG, I feel like. So that's pretty much all that I got right now. But I love JDM. Don't get me wrong. Just don't come at me with all these muscle questions because I don't really know anything about it.
Don't worry, Flex and me will handle the big boy questions.
That's it. There we go. I'm passing it on to you guys.
I'll try.
All right, so those of you guys did not know who Preston was, that's a great background story of how he came to existence.
Pretty much. I was nothing before this.
Yeah. Me neither. I was shit. I'll get to be last. Let me just jump over to Flex, who everyone knows. It doesn't matter where you're looking. I think, to be all in complete honesty, Flex is hands down the most copied W204.
Yes, totally agreed on that.
Copied? In what sense? Like
copied in every modification that you do.
Oh. Well, they're pretty standard, right? I mean.
Oh, you do a little bit extra, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So my turn, my story?
Dude, it's all you. Take the floor.
Okay. So, my name is Flex. I love long walks on the beach, and no, I'm just kidding. So, I'm Flex. You guys probably know me from my YouTube videos for the past, it's almost a year now because I started last July. But I've been in the car scene, I don't know how many years. So it actually goes way back to when I was about 10. All my uncles, I think I had like 5 uncles that I lived really close next to, and they're all probably like 3 to 5 years older than me. And when I was 10, these guys had dope cars, and I'm talking about one of my uncles had a Nissan 300ZX. I was like, whoa, that car was sick. The interior was dope. My other uncle had a Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4. And he was telling me about the rear wheels, its turns when you turn with the car. I was like, what? I'm 10 years old. My mind's blown. I was like, where are these guys getting the money? I mean, I didn't question it.
No, you don't.
But the coolest car was when my oldest uncle pulled up in a Fox Body 93 Mustang GT convertible. It was blue with the gray plastic trim on the bottom with gray interior. And that thing was dope. I mean, the first time I got into that car and he did a pull on first gear and you hear that Flowmaster, I was sold. That was it. Mm-hmm. And I was always into like muscle cars, and I was like, I need to get myself a Mustang. And I was only like 10 or 11 years old. So fast forward, he had that car for a couple of years, and his younger brother, my other uncle, bought the next generation Mustang. I think he bought a 97 Mustang GT convertible. And then his brother bought a 98 Mustang GT convertible. And then I was like, you know what? I think I was probably 18 now. And I was like, I have to get my hands on a later model GT. So when I was 19 was when I bought my first car, and it was a 2000 Mustang GT laser red convertible with white interior. And it was a nice car. And literally I studied how to drive a manual, and I never driven one until I drove that car off that lot.
Same with mine.
Same.
And I didn't stall, and it was the best feeling ever to be in that car and be able to bang through gears by myself. I mean, when I got like off the highway and towards home and you had to take the side streets and stuff, that's when I was like, oh shit, I'm a little sketchy the first gear. So I probably burned the crap out of the clutch, but that was my first car. I worked my ass off. Like I'm talking about at PacSun, at Best Buy, at Office Depot, scraping up change just to make payments on the car and put gas in it. So my car payments was like $200. My insurance was $500 a month.
Oh,
like I literally supported that car. I mean, it was a bad decision, but I'm kind of glad I experienced it because I can share that with my little brother and all that stuff so they don't make the same mistakes. But I had that car till it was like 150,000 miles. And that was literally when I paid it off 5 years later. But I sold it because I just lost a part-time job. I graduated from school. I had a finance degree and it was not being used. I mean, I couldn't find a job. I think it was like 2008, 2009. So it was like right after the recession. So it was really tough. And what did I buy? A 97 Toyota Camry CE, baby. CE with the roll down windows, baby. 4-cylinder. That car took me everywhere for $2,000. So I don't know. Maybe most of these Benz guys, they come from a Toyota background. And
I tap out.
So I had that car for a while, and then I finally landed my job. Like that was using my degree. I got some money, and then I didn't want to get back into a Mustang because I was like, you know what? When I had a Mustang, it was kind of bare bones. I don't know. It's just kind of. I didn't get that luxury feel. And I sat in one of my buddy's Audi and I was like, wow, this is really nice. It's kind of sport luxury. So I bought my first Audi. It was a 2004 Audi A4.
Ooh, you had a big balls for buying that one.
Yeah, the 3.0 V6. And I love that car. And I drove that probably for about 4 years. And then I did the timing belt and all that stuff. I was like, oh my God, this thing's getting up there. It's costing a lot of money. So I traded it in, and what did I trade it in for? A 2006 Audi A4 1.8T. Smaller engine, but it was the first time they had that big black grille, big opening in the front, and I loved it. Drove that car for about 4 or 5 years as well until the mileage got up there.
Damn, how old are you guys?
Dude,
very old.
Yeah, when you said that you were 21.
Like, dude, I was 4 years old when you guys started driving. I'm like, damn.
I should have golden brick when you said you were 21. I wasn't expecting that.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry to break people's hearts, man, but yeah, I'm a youngins. But
yeah, no, I'm looking at my life now. Like, what the fuck did I do wrong? This kid's driving around a carbon fiber decked out 204 and
hard work, baby.
And I was in a Camry when I was 21. Yeah, so I had the Audi, the black Audi, 2006, and the mileage was getting up there. And I was like, you know what? I got to trade this car in before it explodes. And I was just shopping around. My credit was really bad. So I was like, I don't even know if I can get a car. And I stumbled upon this Mercedes C250 coupe. And I was like, wow, I can actually get approved for this. And I was looking at the C350 at the same time, but I'm like, it was $6,000 more. I commute a lot, so I'm like, do I really need a 6-cylinder? I was like, screw it. So I got the C250 for the looks. Was able to trade in the Audi, and literally the day that I was going to turn the car in, my Audi did not start. It took me 2 hours to figure out what was wrong, and there was an electrical issue that was wrong. Things were just going crazy while I was driving to the dealerships, like the windows didn't work and shit. I was like, whatever. As soon as I dropped it off, signed the papers, got my car, I was super stoked. I felt this was when I was 30. It was like 4 years ago. I was like, wow, finally, I'm in a Mercedes. Like, it blew my mind. Like, I'm in a Mercedes. I actually own a Mercedes. Well, the bank owned it, but you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. There's literally, for everyone that does not own a Benz right now in your life, even though you will, I guarantee you that, they are the best feeling vehicles ever. Like, once you get in it and you drive that thing, it's a whole different experience. Hey, easy there, Mr. Muscles. Look at him. Easy there. It's a different experience once you feel that it's luxury and you get some a little bit of performance, not with the T50s, but.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing was missing was performance, but like going from a bare-bone Mustang to an Audi and then creeping up to a Mercedes, even though it's a C-Class and it's kind of the bottom of the barrel, it still felt very good. I mean, for the first experience. I mean, now after owning it for 4 years, I'm like, okay, well, I know what it's about, and I know what's good and what's not good about it, and what I should be looking for.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, that's the things you experience. And then when I got the car, I was like, I don't think I'm ever going to modify a car because I don't think I can modify Mercedes. It's too expensive. I didn't know anything about this car or what you can and can't do to it. And literally, when I got the car, I had to fly to Italy for my job. And I parked the car far away from everyone else in my complex. And my wife sent me, I was dating her back then, sends me a picture of my rear bumper. Some guy backs up into my rear bumper with a tow hitch, and there's a big square in my rear bumper. And I was like, oh my God. So I'm in Italy, flipping out. And I'm like, oh my God, my baby, my new baby. I got home, I got it appraised, all the stuff. Insurance gave me a lot more money than what it cost me to repair. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to start off with a grill. Bought a grill. I'm going to get a lip spoiler. I got a splitter. I'm going to do an exhaust. And then it just kept snowballing. And then I discovered, oh my God, I could do all this stuff to this car. I got to start a YouTube video and spread the word. So most of the stuff was done, but for the YouTube, people don't know. I had to take a lot of stuff off and put it back on.
Sounds like a deja vu there.
But it's good. It gets you a connection with the car. I mean, I love that car. Who knows? Eventually, it might go away, but eventually, I might keep it. Who knows? But
Pebble Beach, it's going to be worth $50,000. Watch it.
$50,000, the Flex Edition.
Yeah, Flex Edition.
Mercedes is going to have to roll out with that.
You know, they have to update the wrap every single 2 years or every year.
When I bought my 204, I probably had mine for about a year and 2 months now. And before I even bought the car itself, I had about at least like 10 huge boxes in my garage just waiting for this thing to get in, just so I can make it look good. Because I knew I was like pre-facelift AMG or facelift non-AMG. I personally like the facelift a little bit more. That's my opinion. Don't hate me in the comments below, okay? But I mean, I was like, I could do a lot more to this thing, even though it's a little non-AMG car. You could do a lot to these things. And that's why I had to buy it. Yeah, there's so many opportunities that you could do to those cars and different ways you could build it.
Yeah, I think that's a huge testament to the entire 204 community. Is just how diverse each one of these has come.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
Well, the bad news is my stories are not as exciting as you guys.
Oh, okay. Mr. Muscles. Okay.
Consider that I'm a lot older than all of you guys. I got into
how old are you?
Old enough to be your dad.
Oh, okay.
Wait, are you talking about like a teenager boy who got a girl pregnant when she was like 14? That type of old, or?
When I got into the car scene, this is going to date me right now. It was modified Honda Civics. Those those were the hot things. And keep in mind, I was old enough to drive those modified Honda Civics at that time.
Okay, I wasn't.
Oh yeah, so you're old. No,
so that's how I got into the whole thing. I actually got into it by it was cheap Honda Civics, and you could buy parts from junkyards. You could make shit out of just fiberglass, just throw it on the car, and at the time, didn't matter if you had 12 hood scoops on the car. People dig that shit. they loved it. But that's where I actually learned a lot of my wiring, how to do car audio. I learned all of that by working on those cars back then. And then after that, I remember getting my first car. It was not as impressive as your guys' first car. It was a beat-up Buick Regal.
Dude, those are badass.
Dude.
I learned how to drive in that. That was my mom's car. It was marooned.
See, I told you, man. But as soon as I could get out of that whole thing, I went straight to trucks. And I have lived my eternity in trucks. Silverados, Nissans, Toyotas, every single truck on the planet. I think my most favorite truck to date was a Chevy Avalanche.
Wow.
Oh, I love those things, man.
I loved having that truck. That's actually...
What wasn't that the first SUT?
Yeah,
sport utility truck before the Cadillac version?
Yes. Yeah. You could actually take the back seats and they would fold down, and then you would have a 8-foot truck bed from your driver's seat all the way to the tailgate.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the whole thing would come down like a big old plastic thing, and you could roll an ATV right on top of it.
Whoa.
So it was huge. It was
how was that? little trim on it. Was it a big pain to take care of and everything like that, or not?
The trim was a bitch, to put it nicely. I had it painted, I had it professionally done, but the plastic, it would just get destroyed.
Yeah, I see every single Avalanche I see is just faded out really bad, and I'm like, oh, man,
it looks like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Ray, were you into trucks because where you were located? Like, was it? I know, like in Texas, is a big truck community. What was it because of that, or you were just into trucks?
That's a great question. I think it's a mix of both things. The area where I live, South Florida, everybody knows us. We're just a bunch of big old truck drivers down here. I think we have more trucks than people. Wow. And I actually, for the most part, spend my life driving trucks. So I'm more... Check this out. I can't park my Mercedes to save my life. It doesn't matter. I have a backup camera. I got the sonar on there. I can't park the damn thing. My wife sees me go into a parking spot, and she's like, why are you swinging so wide? I'm like, I'm used to driving a truck.
Yeah.
So I can't. Whenever I park it, I open up the door, and I'm in the middle of the fucking line.
Yeah, you get like sonar and everything in there.
Dude, I have everything, and I can't park the damn thing. So I'm eagerly excited to go back to a truck. I will miss the miles per gallon of a car, but I think having a truck, especially as you get older, is a very nice thing. I mean, I spend half of my time at fucking Home Depot. I think I sponsor half of the store just walking in there and like, oh, let me throw it in the back of the truck. In a Mercedes, it's kind of different. You roll up to Home Depot and you see shit. Yeah, see? you see shit, and then you're like, yeah, I can't put that inside my car.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I feel that one.
I think one time I sent you guys a picture of a jack. It was a jack lift. I sent it like inside the Mercedes. I pushed the seat all the way up, and I put the 3-ton jack like in the back of the Mercedes.
Oh, I must have missed that.
Oh, yeah, it was...
Oh.
I wouldn't recommend anybody do it because there's a permanent dent now in that area.
Oh.
Oh, it's all right. But you know what? You got to do what makes you happy, though. You know, that's the big... You know, you can't let other people influence you with all their build stuff, and you should do it this way, that way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know,
but I'm sure, especially Flex knows this more than anything, we get a lot of influence from people telling us what to do with our cars.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't doubt that. You know, you guys are into YouTube, and you guys just get Twitter fingers all day, I bet, just people saying all this stuff. Or some people, not all, but maybe one or two thrown in there. But I don't know how...
I think that'll be a topic for another day. Bad comments that we get.
Yeah, we can do a whole another spin-off on that one.
Yeah, but that's basically my life. I've been engulfed by trucks, and thank God for early Honda Civics that I know how to put a car stereo in perfectly, so that's a good thing.
But wait, what happened to the 500?
The 500?
Yeah, didn't you have a Mini?
I did. I had a Mini Cooper S. It was a 2005 Mini Cooper S, and that thing was decked out. So the story behind that, how I got from truck world to the world's smallest fucking car on the planet, is I needed, at the time, I was going to college, I needed something fuel efficient. I had just purchased my condo, and I sold the truck as a down payment for the condo, and I was left with, I think it was like $5,000. And I was like, what the hell can I get for $5,000 that's fast and good on gas? And here was this Mini Cooper, and I can still remember when I told my wife, I was like, Jen, I'm buying a Mini Cooper. She was like, no, you're not. So
she was probably looking for a Toyota Camry LE.
Yes.
Oh my God.
That's what it was. Big day.
Yeah, so that was it. And the Mini, everything was so cheap, dude. You could buy 4 rims for a Mini Cooper and not be out of pocket $400. And you could have.
I didn't even know that. I did not know that.
Yeah,
maintenance is the big thing, right?
Maintenance is expensive.
Yeah, that's what I heard. It's miserable.
Yeah, I remember the first time I had something serious happen to it that I could not figure out what was going on with it. I took it somewhere and they quoted me like $2,000. It was electrical error. Yeah, so and you guys know I just took the Mercedes in for one of my videos, and that's $5,000. So that's something that comes with these German cars.
It's the European lifestyle. That's one of those things.
Yeah. So I think we're going to just go straight into this since I know for a fact Preston is a die-hard Mercedes aficionado.
Yes.
How do you feel about the new A Class that they just rolled out with?
Oh.
And how it looks exactly the same as a 2015 Kia Fortes.
Ooh, the hatch one, correcto?
The hatch one. I'm going to put a picture of it right now on the screen for everybody to see.
Man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not realize that until I saw the picture.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'll tell you this much right now. If the older A Class was in America, and if it was not only for Europe or everywhere else in the world, I would buy that instead of my C Class. I am a huge fan of A Classes, the older ones.
Okay, wait, hold on. You say that, but Flex made a good point that the C Class was the bottom of the barrel. The A Class is now the bottom of the barrel. Even though it has more electronics than all the cars combined from Mercedes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. It was something about those old ones that really got me. But these new ones, man, you know, the interiors look really nice. Like, don't get me wrong. They're really high tech. But you're losing a lot of that special connectivity of like a car is a car. Like, just a regular gauge, just a regular shifter. You're golden. But everything else.
that body to car connection that you used to have in old school cars. Yep.
Yeah, there's lines in the gauges, but now it's just a screen. Everything's electronic, like to put it in drive and everything like that. It's way too much. If you're talking looks, ooh, not Mercedes strong point on this one. I feel like the rear definitely has to look like it. I think the only thing different is just like how the bumper connects to I think it's the B pillar, or what is it, the rear pillar?
The C pillar.
Yeah, the C pillar, and I'm like, you know what? That's the only difference I pretty much see.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that is crazy stuff. But I mean, hey, it's Mercedes. I'm still gonna have mad respect for it. It's gonna sell really good here, I guarantee that. But just not a fan of the design of it.
So is this is gonna be below the CLA?
This is below the CLA.
Are you sure? Really?
That's from what I know. The CLA is, you got the A, the CLA, and then the C Class. So in alphabetical order.
Oh, it's making me feel a little bit better about my car.
I know, we just all got a promotion.
Yeah.
Well, what's the retail that's going to be on this?
Retail.
Is it going to be under 30? Because I think the CLA was $29,999 when it came out.
The CLA went up in price.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, CLA is now, you're close to about $38,000 for the base CLA.
Wow. That's ridiculous. Oh my god.
Yeah. The A Class, it's looking like that's going to be right around, the base is going to be close to about $30,000.
That's not terrible.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, but the base doesn't have anything good. I can see everybody's going to immediately start hacking up this car.
No, yeah. I mean, I have to admit this. It's I always thought the CLA and the GLA were the same price. Everything about them, they were just almost the exact same. I think it was like a $600 difference. But if they're really lowering it that much and putting the CLA above, I can't seeing it being like a really good car unless they come out with like a 53 motor in one of those things, or do another 45, which I highly doubt. But they do something like that to it, it would actually be pretty cool. But
I think what they are trying to do is they're trying to give it so many electronics that way it overwhelms the new buyers, and they don't care about that. They don't care about the 4.3s. They don't care about the 5s. They don't care about the 6.3s. I think they just want it. They want all that infotainment and all that other crap that comes with the cars.
1.8 or die, you know. That's my motto. You know? Flex knows that one, huh, Flex?
I hear you, bro.
So let me ask you guys a serious question about this. So since these two cars look almost identical, does badging really matter nowadays? Does it matter that the person next to you is driving a Mercedes-Benz and the other person is driving a Kia and they look exactly the same?
I say Flex gets that first question there. I took the last one.
I want to say yes, it still matters. It's just brand perception has just been there for the longest time. And I still feel like even though some of these Korean brands are starting to come up, and I mean, some of the German brands are starting to come down as well, and they're kind of meeting almost equal territory, that branding is still really prevalent and it's still strong.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's like me, I know the Mercedes community. I know the cars kind of in and out, so I know what they're worth to me. And I can look at A Class or a C-Class and go, okay, I know that person is driving a C-Class. It's really not that expensive. And I know, someone's driving a Stinger. That's different for sure. That's Kia, but wow, I know that's a legit car.
That's a legit car.
Being a car guy, you would know. But I think if you're not really that prevalent to all the different brands and you just drive a car that you put gas in and you drive around, I think if you see a Mercedes over a Kia, even though they look the same, I think they'll still gravitate to the Mercedes as, that's high end. That's beautiful because it's Mercedes.
Yeah.
So it's all going to be based on the point of view of the person, in my opinion.
Okay, but hold on. I'm going to take the opposite approach on this. I don't think badging really matters anymore. And this is going to be hold on, Preston. Hold on. This is going to be my takeaway on it. You brought up the Kia Stinger. That car is fucking gorgeous.
Dope.
Yeah, that car hauls
You guys
ass.
like those?
How do you not like it?
I've seen it in person. It's dope.
How do you not like it?
I see them out here all the time, but you know what gets me every single time is just that reflecting light.
At the tail?
The tail light. It just kills it.
See, that's why I would, if I was going to get a Stinger, I'd get a black one and I'd tint the crap out of that of vinyl wrapping. Sorry, I would do that. I know it's a cool little styling piece that makes it different, but it's a little too much for me. But other than that, I think the car is beautiful. It's designed well. But we're going off topic. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, but look, this is my thing. I really don't think the badging matters anymore with these cars. You're finding more and more people that are taking the badgings off of the vehicles, and they want the cars to be more original. They want the cars to be more unique. I think what sets the cars off, because you don't need the badges, I think what sets the cars off is unique styling. The Jeep Wrangler is a Jeep Wrangler. You can take all the badges off of that car. When that thing comes up behind you, you know goddamn right that's the Jeep Wrangler. It's the same thing with the Mercedes S Class. When that thing's roaring up behind you, you know exactly what car is that. I think each brand has that one vehicle that just sets it off.
Yeah, I can agree to that.
Because, well, look, this is my whole thing. If you look at Audi right now, I can't tell the difference of all.
I can't tell the difference anymore. Yeah.
It's like they all just had like incest and they bred into one Audi.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's my thing.
My thing is just like Flex can agree. You can agree too with at least with 204s. They look a lot like Honda Accords, man. Like early 2000 Honda Accords, dude.
We just had everybody unsubscribe from the channel.
Especially the coupe. The coupe. It looks like the Accord V6 coupe. And I think there was an article someone wrote about it when the C-Class coupe first landed, that they were comparing it and they were saying, Mercedes stealing styling from the Accord. But I mean, to be honest, all they did was took the sedan and kind of streamlined it by lowering the roof a little bit. I mean, it was kind of just, I don't want to say by luck, but you know what I mean. It just happened to look like the Accord. And I mean, the A Class is a good example. Did they borrow any styling, or everyone's kind of working towards that same trend? That's probably why the stylings are looking so comparable now.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah, I guess all designs must. There has to be a couple that are the designs, like you can't really get all of them at once. I mean, it's not really a good way to put it, but it's like every design is pretty much almost thought up of. That's what it's coming down to, because the new C-Classes all, like, I hate to say it, Mercedes are doing the same thing as Audi are, and just stacking them up and making them look more and more like each other. So is
yeah.
All German cars are doing that, you know. It's just one of those things. I don't know. I think personally, I think that that brand matters.
You think that brand matters?
Dude, I'm 21 years old, and I can't tell you enough. Yeah, I'm 21 years old, and I can't tell you enough. Like, people my age are just like, wow, you're driving a Mercedes. And I know for sure if I was driving like a Honda or something like that, they would not be saying that.
Okay,
so,
well, okay, so wait, hold on. Let me put two cars that are both equal value next to each other side by side. You have the Mercedes, and then now I'm going to put right next to it the Tesla Model 3.
Oh.
Side by side, same price point. What do you guys have to say about that?
See, this is where I go back to perception. It's whoever's looking at it. Like, Model 3, a lot of people still don't know it's a lower-end Tesla. They see the T and they're like, ooh, a Tesla. Yeah. They think it's super expensive.
California.
And I think that's and I think that's still the same case with Mercedes. A lot of people will look at it and go, ooh, you drive a Mercedes. Wow. But if they look at the price and I tell them how much I paid and et cetera, they're like, really? They're still perplexed when it comes to the price that you can buy these cars for now, especially in the used market.
Okay, so I think you guys have totally convinced me that, okay, badging does still play a factor.
But this is another kind of, I don't know if it's reinforcement, but when it comes to badging, when I drive a lot lately and I look at cars, and I mean, in the past, I can look at a taillight and say, I know exactly what that car is. I used to play that game all the time. What's that headlight? What's that that hatch? Well, what's that front grille?
Oh,
I know the car.
We all knew what a Crown Vic was when it came up behind us.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Now it's like these cars are designed so well. It's like literally you could take a Mercedes badge and put it on this car, and you'd be like, I think that could actually be a Mercedes. You could take this badge and put on that car. You're like, that could actually be this brand. It's just the styling is just so much better now that.
Okay, so
it's tough to say unless you really have a perspective of the car and you know it in and out. That's kind of my view on it.
Okay, well, then let me just say this: do you believe that brand loyalty exists anymore?
Oh yes. I
think Flex and me are on the same side. I don't think it exists anymore, man.
Okay, I'll tell you this much right here. Okay, it's all in the person and how big of a car person they are. If they are a huge car person, they will stick with that company.
I totally get those one or two people, but I'm talking about like the mass
majority?
public.
Okay.
Oh, well, here's about them. You know? Jeez. I mean, I say to the point of it does not matter for a non-car person because everything looks the same.
Then we're back to badging doesn't matter.
Not for the average eye. But everyone knows what a Mercedes is and why it's so good. You know, but I'm saying like performance-wise and everything like that, most people will go Challenger or Charger or something like that because it's a cheap buy.
Okay. All right, so there you go. You're talking cheap buy. The person driving a Dodge Demon can smoke the shit out of every car that rolls up on it, right?
Oh,
pretty much.
Get muscle again.
Pretty much.
This is exactly why I did not want to do this podcast.
So,
okay, here's the thing though. You get a Demon, all right? You get a Demon for, what are they up now? 100K, 20K over MSRP or whatever?
Agreed.
All right, 100K. Yeah, you get 808 or whatever horsepower out of it. Wow. Okay, but you have to run different gas, special tires, whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, it costs a whole lot less than another 800 horsepower car, but it's nothing like driving another 800 horsepower car. So like say if you get like a McLaren or something like that, that is a way different experience than a boat, than a Challenger, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they are boats. I've driven a Hemi Challenger for...
They're only 16 feet long!
They're massive. No, Challengers are Challengers are huge. I can't drive them, but like a little McLaren, yeah, I don't know. It's all preference. I'm not big into muscle. I think it's a cheap way of going out on cars for cheap power. I don't like it. Sorry. Next question.
No, you can't just do that. You can't just call American Muscle out like that.
Chevy SS?
No, man. American Muscle is founded on just building the fastest, the rawest, the most powerful thing you can.
Stick
with what
the
you
biggest
got.
engine in a car.
That's
yeah.
it.
Hey, you know what? I don't blame you guys. My dad had multiple American Muscles. We have 2 Corvettes in the garage right now.
That are covered.
I know.
That's a damn shame. That's an American tragedy. That car is, every single time I see it, is covered.
I know. Well, the thing gets taken care of, at least. It's in a garage. But, you know what? I personally say that, I don't know. It's like you either go big or go home. You don't get luxury. You're cutting out luxury. You trade it for power. So that's the other thing, you know. So without making your wallet empty. So
okay.
That's
So going back to it, brand loyalty. I say it doesn't exist because I'm going to give you guys a few options right now. We all have Mercedes. We all have them. If we line up every single car in the same value at the same price point, are you guys going to pick the Mercedes again?
Yes.
That's because you are biased.
No, I love Mercedes. That's my whole thing.
This is my point of view. It's not. I don't want to say this to the masses because maybe it's not everyone, but a lot of people still aspire to get a Mercedes or get that super luxury brand that they always want. And Mercedes has always been it. So even if it's cheaper than some other cars and it looks the part of Mercedes and it has that emblem, I'm still going to choose it. Unless I'm at a point in my life where it's like, I really don't care what people think about what I drive and whatnot. If it has all the features that I need to get me around and it's fuel economy and all that stuff, yeah, I'll switch. But for the time being, once I got into that Mercedes, I want to stay Mercedes as much as possible. I used to be a big Audi fan, and I was like, oh my God, the A5 when it came out, a 2-door, that's so awesome. And I followed it for the longest time. And then as soon as I got into a Mercedes, now I see a bunch of A5s, S5s. Yeah, they're cool cars, but if you put a C63 in front of me, I'd probably get a C63. I'll probably get a C350. I'll probably get a CLS. I'll probably get something that's in Mercedes. I don't know. That's probably just me now.
Yeah.
Until I get to the point where I don't really care anymore, or they've done a really horrible job, and I know that that's definitely not worth the price that I should be getting. AKA Ray's video on the C300, the new one. I wouldn't spend that money on that C300. I'd probably go into Lexus because I know they're a lot more reliable. They have all the features and benefits that I want, and at the end of the day, it's a Toyota, so you're going to get reliability. And I mean, the components and repairs are probably a lot cheaper as well.
So I think you just agreed with me that brand loyalty doesn't exist.
That's when I don't care anymore.
Wait,
it gets to the point where Mercedes is just really crap quality, and I know it's not worth my money. Go ahead.
I mean, for me, you guys know I help run one of the biggest, or if the biggest, Mercedes-Benz group. M-Benz Society, go check it out. But you have to think about this. If you are surrounded by Mercedes ever since you were in the car scene, you're going to grow up a Mercedes fan. We have a bunch of cars and everything like that come to car shows. And you know what? We all connect on something, and it's not from it's definitely not from American Muscle, JDM, KDM, whatever. It's all about Mercedes, and it's just one of those connective things where it's a group of people coming together, just admiring that car, and you just fall in love with the car brand even more, just because you have like friends that love you, and you get them, and they're like family. It's just one of those things. I don't know. You guys don't have that many car groups out there. Well, I don't think you guys are in any right now.
No,
negative.
No.
Yes,
not much.
I am out here in Cali. It's all cars or nothing. So I don't know. I guess it goes both ways, but
So we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah. And if you guys listening to this podcast have any comments, disagreements, or anything, put it down below. We will definitely read them all. If there's something that stands out, we will read it publicly, and we'll call you out.
Yes.
If you hate my face, let me know. I'm awful.
And if you guys hate this podcast, let me know.
I've heard 4 eyes in the chat right now.
Oh my God. So of course, Flex and Preston, thank you so much for doing this podcast. And hopefully the community likes it. Hopefully they get to see another side of us. And we can catch up next time and do another podcast on other issues that we've been talking about. And like I said, guys, if this is something you guys want to see, please comment down below. Click like on the video. Go over to Flex's channel. Subscribe to his channel. He's going to have the same video posted on there. Give it another like. And then Preston is going to have the video as well. Guys, we're trying to really get this whole... We're really trying to get this whole thing going. Just bear with us. This is our first one. We will get better. We promise that.
Yes, most definitely. Thank you, Ray, for having me on. Can't wait.
Thanks, Ray, for putting this together.
Yeah, man. It was a pleasure, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep.